Hello guys, it's Joe. It's Monday morning. Actually, it's about noon here on Monday. Beautiful day, another beautiful day here in the Philippines. I'm so blessed, I'm so lucky to be in this environment every day. Back in the Northeast in New Hampshire, where I was originally from, they're getting ready for snow. And I get so many messages on people wishing that they had this type of environment and climate. And I said, well, it's up to you. Help yourself. Come on over and enjoy. But anyway, I want to do a video based on my experience over here with driving and whether you should own a car or a motorcycle. In my opinion, I would never own a motorcycle here in the Philippines. I grew up on motorcycles. I know how to drive them, but it's just very dangerous here. If anybody out there has done any driving over here, you probably understand what I'm saying. You never know what's around the corner. Just us driving the truck, I don't know how many times we've been almost hit. One time somebody did hit us and had an accident. They didn't get hurt, but they just hit the side of the truck with the handlebar and dumped it. But we were crawling through traffic. But you gotta have eyes in the back of your head. You got motorcycles crossing right in front of you. Yesterday, an example, we were taking off out of here where we live, and we were stopped and waiting for cars to pass, and we were getting ready to go. A motorcycle cut directly in front of us, and the woman was laughing about it. She was grinning from ear to ear, and I was getting pissed. I'm like, she almost got run over. If we were moving, she would have got run over. So it's very dangerous. There's a lot of good drivers over here, don't get me wrong, but nobody follows the traffic laws, and it's frustrating. I mean, it's an adventure even going to the city. I don't like the city for that reason right there. But I understand owning a motorcycle is a lot cheaper than owning a truck or a car. You've got to do what your budget allows you to do. If you live in the city, I wouldn't own one. If you're out in the countryside, up in the province, it's probably a good idea to have one. Since I've been here in a year, I have seen, not witnessed, but I know of 3 people that have died as a result of motorcycle accidents. And this is people that I know. One of them wasn't, the other 2 were. One particular case, this guy who had been up in the province and drinking at a party, and then the stupidity in him decided he was going to go home. Okay, well, it was probably around 1 o'clock in the morning, so there's no traffic. Traffic's not the issue. The issue is he was so drunk he wrecked his motorcycle, no helmet, and in 2 of these cases I'm telling you about right now, they had no helmet on, and they both died. For the love of me, I don't know why people don't wear helmets. It's not you that can be the problem, it's the other guy. If you need all the protection you can get. But this guy didn't have a helmet on, and I had met him 5 days prior to him passing away. He was a nice guy. We bought some trees from him, from his nursery, and we talked for about, half an hour or so. And then my wife says, 5 days later, he passed away. I said, what? I said, what happened? He said he got drunk, decided to go home on his motorcycle, he wrecked his bike, and he killed himself, no helmet. So that's rule number 1. If you're even gonna, first of all, don't drink and drive. You can go to a party and fine, drink, do what you want to do, but get somebody to either take you that's sober or stay. Don't take off. You're not only endangering you, but you're endangering other people too. The second case was the same thing. This guy here was at one of the local bars down here in Bakong on Main Street. He was an American. There was three of them. They took off after hours of heavy drinking, and then boom, went down the highway. He wrecked his bike, no helmet on, weighed him right out, passed away right there at the scene. Uh, Another example, if he had a helmet on, he'd probably still be here. Now, I didn't know him personally, but I mean, it's maybe a mile from where we live. And so, and I know exactly where he was. It was a local bar that a lot of the expats hang out at. And if you're an expat coming over here, man, be responsible. Nobody wants to see you laid out in the middle of the street. But guys, it happens all the time. Um, it's why I would never own a motorcycle. I'm petrified of them. And it's not even me, myself, I'm worried about it. It's the other guy. There was another case where the motorcycle ran right into the back of the truck. We witnessed this. The truck was going down the road. He pulls right out in front, went to pass him, didn't clear the truck, hit the back of the truck, and then he laid himself out. I don't know if he made it or not. We couldn't believe our eyes. When you see it happen right in front of you, it really hits here. So man, you got to be careful. And then there was one case where my wife's relative, cousin actually, I'm sorry, nephew, he was there again, drinking somewhere, took off, went down to wherever he was going, and ran right into the back of a car. Did damage to the car, did damage to the bike. He was fine, he hit his head. There again, no helmet. Luckily, he wasn't going fast. But this is a common theme in the Philippines. I don't know how many times, one day when we went to Dumaguete, the city, I told myself, I'm gonna count how many times we see an ambulance. Just on the way to the city and back. You wouldn't believe it. It was 7 times an ambulance. And you know they were coming from accidents. 99% of the runs that these ambulances make are result of accidents. So, and this is one trip, about an hour's trip. We went down, spent some time, come back. 7 ambulances I witnessed within 1 hour. And I told my wife right then and there, because we're looking at getting another vehicle. And she said, what are you thinking about, a motorbike? I says, hell no. I mean, I would never buy a motorbike here in the Philippines. Now, yeah, it's cheap, but it's Russian roulette in my eyes. The reason I want to buy another vehicle, we have a full-size truck. And the drawback is it's hard to find places to park. Parking in Dumaguete is very limited. So I'd kind of like a smaller either truck or van, for purposes of going to the city. I love our truck. We use it for everything. But when we go to the city, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm looking at possibly getting something smaller along with the truck. We'll still keep that. So yeah, if you're coming over here, I highly recommend, if you stay right in Dumaguete, use public transportation. Don't come right over here right off and buy a motorbike, and take your time with the process. Get to know your way around Dumaguete. If you feel you want to buy a motorbike, okay. Just be very careful. You've got to have your head on a swivel and wear your helmet. I can't stress that enough. So, guys, I'm only doing this video because of what I've witnessed. And I just don't want somebody with expectations coming over here. Well, I've driven a bike for 20 years. That may be the case. It doesn't matter. You throw it out the window here, okay? Come over here, be very cautious. They're gonna make you take a driver's test anyway. That's one of the requirements to get a motorcycle endorsement here, which kind of makes me believe that 90% of the people over here probably didn't take it, or they should have failed it because they pass on the right. They do everything under the sun as far as breaking the law goes, but they're not held accountable, so that's why they do it and get away with it. So anyway, guys, I want to leave you with that. Let me know what you think. And thanks everybody. You guys are awesome, man. Every time I get up in the morning, I have numerous comments, and I really enjoy getting back to you guys. I'm a small channel, so I'm able to respond to everybody. And believe me, I look forward to it. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. But keep the comments up. Keep your suggestions coming. If you got a video in mind that you'd like to see or something you want to know about over here, let me know and I'll do my best to accommodate. With that being said, please subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button, hit the bell notification button, you'll get all my videos. So with that being said, I'm going to let you go and I'm going swimming. Great, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.